We allocate at least an hour. Usually it's about between 30 to 45 minutes. But usually the curriculum, the 3-year-old curriculum, will only be about 30 minutes of instruction for the parents. However, the 4 and the 5 is more intense. There's more activities and it's more in-depth preparation for kindergarten, so it takes about 45 to an hour.
Per week?
Per week, 5 days. And then the parent works around and works the 5 days. Every single day in the curriculum, it's a different color. So it keeps the parent in track of, okay, today's Monday, we're going to do green, tomorrow's Tuesday, we'll do yellow, and it keeps the structure for the parents. So when the child begins school, there's a structure that every day there's homework to do. And so every day we expect the parents to do at least 20 minutes worth of homework with the children. We do have a couple of KP parents here. If you want to say anything.
My 3-year-old son, well, he's going to be 4 now, but he just completed the 3-year-old curriculum, and what it did, at least for me, I wasn't a strong student when I was in school, and I wasn't one of those children that would sit at the table for like 4 hours to do an hour's worth of homework. So what it did for me was it helped he and I establish an ability to sit down, work on something, get through it, and then have a pattern of behavior. So that way, I'm hoping that'll translate to when he goes to school, that he'll feel comfortable sitting down with me doing homework, and it'll be a regular behavior that'll kind of lead itself into some success in school. And then also, it got us to read together more consistently. Some of the skills that he developed was he's really able to cut very well because of the activities that we do. He can paste shapes and identify colors and words and things like that. So he's probably not where he could be in terms of if he was in an actual preschool where he was going every day, but considering that he's not, that he's just with a sitter, it made a big improvement. I think that'll show significantly in the preschool industry. So I was really satisfied with the program, and I felt like it really benefited.
Your son's 3?
He'll be 4.
Great, like drinking beer, watching the Lakers. That's how I bond with mine.
There's some outcomes of what the parent involvement and empowerment does for these families. And majorly the long-term achievement and academic success is one for the children, and for the parents is majorly the involvement as a parent to become involved initially at the very early in life, preparation with school and later in life, and hopefully we're establishing that, even though it might take years for us to see that, but at least it'll be a very good beginning.
Is there a protocol for tracking the kids as they go on through their education system?
We're actually working with that with the director of the Children's First Commission, who wants to see that there is some form of tracking. There was recently a really interesting research on tracking up to 40 years old, and even Hebe was mentioned that it was even so much cost effective to UPB at an earlier age, such as 3 years old, because they've seen at 4 years old the outcomes. There's less crying, there's more involvement in the family, more family time, and more academic success. So he wants for us to figure out a way to track these families, even though they're from all over the school district, which makes it a little challenging, but we're trying to figure out how to track since 2004.
Tattoos.
Group.
Right. Tattoos. Put tattoos on it.
So we'll figure something, and that'll be interesting to show you.
I know you talked to a couple of the parents, obviously, and make mention of some of the comments from the parents that we've gotten recently.
Right. Well, most of our parents that we have are actually new parents. About 40 some or close to 50 are new parents. And the fact that they're actually re-enrolling again says a lot. I mean, they're actually, when we were reapplying for our funding, they were asking, what do we do? Do we write letters? Where do we go? Because we want the program to continue. And so we get definitely a lot of support from parents. They're very grateful because this is the only home visitation program that's available to parents. And so we do get a lot of positive feedback every time we have surveys.
agenda, which, by the way, we're not meeting as a board right now because we don't have a board. Governor's May revised budget.
Just to let you know that, and this was actually sent out on May 15th, OCP on in terms of what's happening with the budget, and that the schools and categorical programs of which RP is a piece of that we will get budget cuts of 6.5%. And anything that's been happening with the budget in preparation for Cecilia, she's been using all of that information. So I don't think that will probably change at all. And hopefully it won't. I mean, hopefully it will stay at 6.5%, and so we'll be fine with that. That would be good instead of the 10. Yep. And they are saying that the governor is supporting the budget in terms of not making as drastic a cut as he initially had planned.
We'll see what happens in September.
Yeah.
All right, information items, articles.
Oh, a couple things here. We did have finally put it in after a month and a half. I think all of the election stuff free into the from getting into the newspaper on the Voice of the People about the foundation and connecting with the stars again. But the other item, the next page is where Mr. Kyman. Some of you may have remembered Mr. Kyman. He actually sat on this board for several years. He passed away, and he had a memorial yesterday, and several of us attended, and it was a very nice event. He didn't want any crime, and everyone. I didn't know that he was quite the little prankster that he was, because he was always very dignified when he was conducting the meetings here. Well, my understanding was that he was quite a little prankster, and everybody would join in and telling stories about how he played little tricks on him, and some very interesting little tales. I'm sure we didn't get all the ones that probably couldn't be shared. So quite a man, and just a real sad loss. But and the community will have benefited from him, but also feel his loss. And I know he sat on the County Board of Education board and was a real contributor to that work.
Future events, Project ACE.
Yes, tonight at 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, Project ACE will be holding their graduation. I believe that there are, I want to say, 7 students that are graduating, and the other foster youth will be there as well to support those that are graduating. It's always a very nice event. One of the students will be emceeing the event, and that's usually how they hold it and stuff. And it's, the first part is pretty formal, and then the other part is, just very, very socializing and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very nice event. I would encourage you to go, even if you can't stay for the whole time. My understanding is one of the board of supervisors will be there, and Judge Law too. I think you've been working with the foster youth or something, so we've called it to those two dignitaries along with yourselves will hopefully be there.
Good. All right.
Yeah, important folks.
All right. Board and superintendent comments. Mr. Garcia is sitting in for Trustee Noriega.
I'd like to thank and congratulate for the National Star. It was a lot of fun. And it seems like the programs that you have in place are growing and growing. I hope everything works out for the next fiscal year.
All right, thank you. Trustee Lopez.
None.
Trustee Walker.
First time I ever got called to the principal's office, I was in second grade at Harding School, and I took a little knife to school.